Confessions of a Serial Job Hopper. Number 4. Ignore traditional career advice. The fact that I've spent the past 30 years working on my own terms and have managed to make a good living shocks me. It's even more surprising that I'm still going strong as a relative dinosaur in the tech field. In hindsight, it would have been so much easier to take the traditional route. Get good grades in high school, graduate from college, and settle into a cube for the next 40 years. But that route seemed like death to me, so I did it the hard way. I wanted to make money, and I didn't want to wait. The average age for a CEO is 59. Who wants to wait until you're almost old enough to collect Social Security to run the show? Why wait? I'm supposed to put in my time, pay my dues, and wait for someone to decide I'm good enough? Fuck that shit. I was 100% bored with school and knew what it took to make it in the world. Work hard and be better than everyone else. So I bought a bunch of books, hijacked time on a Unix terminal, and away I went. I was a developer without a college degree way before it was cool. The problem was no one would hire me, so I had to get pretty damn creative. I would take a job, spend 6 to 12 months working there, picking up skills and making connections, then start looking again. I did this for about 5 years and racked up more experience across different domains than I ever would have if I stayed with one job for those 5 years. By the time I was 30, I was running my own company that grossed over 10 million a year. I and my partner sold the company and walked away with a nice chunk of change that held us over until the next thing came along. After the dust settled from the sale and I'd satisfied the terms of my employment agreement, I went back to my old job hopping ways. During every interview, someone would ask why I moved around so much. I told them the truth. I like to get in, solve problems, and move on. I'm not a maintenance programmer, and I'm a horrible employee. Good times. No shit. Why lie? Just catches up with you in the end. The people who were looking for long-term commitments would thank me for my honesty, and we'd usually part ways. The ones that were looking for solutions would work to strike a deal. 30 years in a watch was the way back in the day, and that attitude lingers. Surprisingly, even with the popularity of the gig economy, there's still a negative view of those with a collection of short tenure jobs in the past. I'd imagine the number one factor is the cost of recruiting retention. The company wants to hire good boys and girls who will shut up, sit down, and do their work, at least until such time that the company decides your services are no longer required. Take your life back. Lifelong commitments are for friends, family, and good dogs. Don't trust the corporate bullshit for a second, because the second you stop making money for them, you're gone. To believe anything else is an absolute fantasy. Wake up. The dirty little secret that everyone should know by now is that employers need us a lot more than we need them. This is about you, and it's okay to be selfish when it comes to employment. It's your life, your time, your dreams, your money. Nothing is free. Haircuts, massages, a bar in the basement, lunches, motivational speakers over lunch, happy hours, etc. It's all business and just a trick to get more hours out of you. Do your work, then go meet your friends for happy hour. Job hopping tips. Tailor the resume to the job. Clean your resume up and tailor it specifically for the job opening. Use keywords that are used in the job posting in your resume. Keep it clean and short and focused on the job. Your resume is just a tool, and the recruiter will spend about 10 seconds scanning it. They don't want to read a story, they scan for keywords. Skills to pay the bills. Maintaining your skills is critical. Figure out what you're good at and then market those skills. Don't think you have any marketable skills? You do, I guarantee it. They just might not be what you think they are. My skills as a successful gambler, my hobby, playing daily fantasy sports and poker, applies directly to project management, risk management, reading people, financial management, scheduling, etc. Now I kick ass pulling multi-million-dollar software projects out of the toilet. Get out there and do your thing. Always be looking. It's easy to become complacent, particularly if you're being paid well and enjoy the work environment. But things can change in an instant. Always have an iron or two in the fire in case you need to pull chocks ASAP. Or these days, updated for 2024-25. Layoffs are insane. But if you dig into those layoffs, um, you know, you'll see what you see. There's a good market for tech people. Back to the story. Ignore traditional career advice. Those days are over. We're on a new playing field now. No one in my personal life can keep up with where I work, even though it's been the same career for over 30 years. Why does it matter? Has become my response. I'm a computer programmer, a web developer, a software engineer, a product manager, a software project manager, whatever. I write code for people. I help programmers figure out what to do next. I convince stakeholders to keep funding disasters, etc. I sell shovels to gold diggers. We all do, right? I've worked on some of the dumbest ideas in the business. No offense to the people that conceptualized this stuff because they pitched it and someone funded it. We would show up for the design, build, and deploy phase of the operation, and then hit the road once the system was in production. Maintenance programming. No, thank you. When you land somewhere that feels right, hang around. And on those rare occasions where it's all coming together, there's nothing wrong with taking a breather and hanging out for a while. My big things are autonomy. I'm a horrible employee, remember? And the ability to take time off between projects. Think about what is important to you and keep an eye out for when your conditions are met. Final thoughts. The 30 years on a watch days are long over, but the industrial machine wants you to think it's still a thing. Public schools and colleges are set up to feed huge employers that don't exist anymore. Create a life living on your terms. You only have one life, right? There will be bumps in the road, but they're there to make sure you're paying attention. So stay focused on yourself, learn in demand skills, and get out there and do your thing.